Peace, everyone. This is Nazir Sadiria coming to you on this Sunday, December the 6th, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, today's December the 6th. And I actually have some more downloads that I got that I want to share with you all today. Um, Real quick, originally when I created this YouTube channel, it was going to be about getting my herbs information out to you all, getting remedies, holistic remedies out to you all, and sharing some healing aspects of working on inner shadow work and inner self. So that also is going to come into play eventually, but I'm getting all these downloads that the higher self and higher dimensional realm and spiritual realm is having me share with you all. I do have them here on my phone here because it was so many downloads. I can't even remember them all half the time. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta share. I was told to share this with them, told to share this, told to share that. So I have to type them or write them down so that I don't forget a lot of times as I'm getting these messages when I first wake up in the morning. Sometimes I get them when I'm driving, my meditations. So anyway, so let's get started because I don't want this to be a long video, but hey, when the spirit is working, it is what it is. So I'm gonna try to do my best as far as me controlling it, but I don't control it, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you all about is your downloads. A lot of us starseeds are experiencing a lot of ascension symptoms. We're getting a lot of information that we're going through, that's coming through us. A lot of our ears are ringing. We're getting sensitive to certain things. I know I close my eyes and I can see frequency a lot of times. I can just be in my meditation, close my eyes right before I fall into sleep, or just pausing for a minute, breathing with my eyes closed, and I can actually see the almost like waves in my, in darkness, but it'll be like a orangey wave or vibration, and I can just see the energy passing by me with my eyes closed, almost like my third eye is seeing what my two physical eyes cannot see. So these are some symptoms that's the symptom that I'm getting. Also, ears are constantly ringing. I notice the more water I drink, the less my ears ring. So always keep water on tap. I'm always having water when I'm doing these videos, because for whatever reason, as the spirit is talking to me, as the ancestors are talking to me, as my higher self is talking to me, I get really dehydrated. And I know I got half a bottle here. I'm probably gonna need more. So I got some water and lemon over there, lemon and lime, that I should probably bring a little closer to me. So I'll probably grab that in a little bit. But anyway, so I wanted to tell you, a lot of you all who are new or just tapping into your higher selves and not having the resources or the spiritual tribes around you, your spiritual tribe around you, and you're relying on people like me who are part of your spiritual tribe, but you only see me on video, or others that you encounter through social media and things like that. You're relying on us to kind of tap in with you and tell you what we're experiencing, so to affirm and confirm what you're going through. So I wanted to share some of the things as a new tapped in being, what you should kind of feel or kind of get you through the process. So the first thing is your intuition. So as excuse me, as your gifts are getting stronger, which everyone's gifts are getting stronger right now, and they're being expedited. So everything is happening just super fast. You're getting enlightened super fast. Your emotions are super fast. Your spirituality is growing and evolving and learning super fast. You have to stop and breathe. That's the very first thing. So when you're getting overwhelmed, when you're getting these downloads and they're just coming at you rapidly, make sure you breathe. So just a lot of deep breaths throughout the day. information is going to be coming through fast. A lot of deep breaths throughout your day. Just stop, breathe, and drink tons and tons of water. That's the first thing I would tell anybody who's tapped in, who's feeling all of these emotions, all of this energy that doesn't feel like it's their energy. Looks like, feels like it's coming from somewhere else. When you see people, when you walk in the room and you can read them, you can know what they're thinking, know what they're about to say, know what they're about to do, know who they are at their core. That stuff can be overwhelming. So for me, I have to drink water and breathe through it. Especially when 2 or 3 people come in the room and you feel 2 or 3 different energies. So that's the first thing. Tons of water, tons of breathing, do your mantras, make sure you get enough rest, make sure you meditate. These are key things. And do things that make you feel good, whether it's playing your guitar, which I don't play that well, or riding your bike, or jogging, or walking, singing, reading a book, art, drawing, painting, writing music, writing poetry, whatever your thing is, swimming, skiing, I don't know, horseback riding, do your thing and just kind of get balanced because you're going to need those things. So back to the intuition. The intuition was probably the first thing that I tapped into, and that has been going on for years, and I just never knew what it was. I want to say the intuition goes back to probably about 6 years old. I was very intuitive. I probably realized I was really intuitive probably my early teenage years, when I could just read my friends' boyfriends, and I knew from the jump. I knew what their intentions was before they were. And I'm like, he ain't no good. And they'd be like, what are you talking about, girl? And I'm like, be careful. He gonna do this and this and this. And then he would do that, and that. And they would say, how'd you know that? Or, man, I should have listened to you. And so I was always the one that was giving advice. I was always the one that was the counselor, the therapist, the big sister, the motherly one. And I was very reserved and just reserved and kind of in the cut a lot of times when it came to looking at people and getting to know them. Everybody thought I was real quiet and stuff like that. Unless I liked you, unless I felt you had good energy, or even if you didn't have good energy, I was willing to deal with that energy. You thought I was, I was that cool friend. But if I didn't like you, didn't like your energy, something was off with you to me, then I would be reserved. And you think I was really quiet and shy. I just didn't want to talk to you. I didn't want to waste my energy on you, and did not know why I did that. I just knew that was something that I did. And my friends who knew me very well knew that too. They'd be like, oh, she's quiet. And they're like, no, she's not, and they were like, oh, she must not like her. She must feel some type of way about her, And a lot of my friends would try to talk me out of not, and they still do to this day. I still have friends that they have learned their lessons, but they're like, oh, give that person a chance. I'm like, nope, not giving them a chance. The ancestors told me, now I call them the ancestors. Before I was like, for some reason, I know I need to leave them alone. I'm going to leave them alone. Now it's like my higher self, the ancestors, the powers, the Most High said, don't deal with that person. I'm not dealing with them. Don't care what you say. And I've been burnt from trying to listen to other people, thinking through this evolve process, like, well, maybe I need to give them a chance because everybody's evolving, blah, blah. No. When my ancestors, my higher self tells me to do something, that's what I'm listening to. Point blank from now on. So, but that intuition is the things that is that voice that you have to hear and be willing to hear. And the reason why I was told to speak on it today is because a lot of times what we do is we hear the voice and then we do something different. And then you wonder why the outcome comes out different than what you wanted it to come out. A lot of times we won't listen to the intuition. We go against the intuition. We go against that thought, that energy that tells you to go left, but you go right. And then you get into a traffic or accident or a bad situation. And you're like, why did you do this to me, universe? Or why did this happen to me? Well, the intuition told you to go to the left. So don't ask any questions now because you didn't do what your higher self told you to do. And I know back in the day, we used to say, God, why did this happen to this person? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? But you have a God within you that has been telling you what to do, but you just haven't been tapped in to hear it. And what I was told to tell you all is that a lot of times we use drugs, we use alcohol, we use relationships, we use food, we use life, we use self-sabotage, we use self-hatred, we use our jobs, we use money and finances to not listen to that voice. We use friendships and dark friendships, obviously. We use religion. We use all of these different things to keep us from listening to ourselves. So it's time that we listen to ourselves. And I'm going to give you a couple examples just so you can relate, because I know you will relate to one, if not all of these. And the reason why I'm giving this to you is because I have a lot of you starseeds who know the answer because your intuition has told you, and then you've called me, or you've texted me, or you face messengered me, or IG'd me to try to get validation as if I have the answer of all end alls. And the answer comes from within. And I'm telling you this because I've been there, done that. So if your intuition tells you, man, I need to quit my job. I just recharged for 2 weeks, had a wonderful time, got one with nature, got one with self, did some inward work, did some shadow work, purged people out of my life. And I came back and I asked the ancestors to show me what needs to be deleted out of my life that I didn't delete. And you go to, and you're feeling amazing. Ate right, did whatever some of you fasted. Some of you guys went on a detox. Some of you went without a whole bunch of stuff. And then you come back and Monday you get to work and you're texting me and calling me talking about, I hate my job. My boss just told me this deadline is pushed up 2 more days and I can't take my time off during the holidays because I got to get this done. And we got to launch here. We doing this. And I'm like, whoa, wait. I'm in the 5th dimension. That corporate bullshit don't exist in my eyes. So I don't want to hear about what your boss told you to do. I really don't. But the person I talked to 2 days ago, Saturday or Sunday, that was driving back home was amazing and doing well. Now you trap back in the 3rd dimension. So how did you get there? That's what I want to ask you. How did you get there? And then they say, well, I'm in this 3rd dimensional job. Why are you in this 3rd dimensional job? Because I got to pay my bills. But you just left a weekend where you got recharged and you got pushed to the 5th. You got pushed up to the 5th dimension, and you got 3 or 4 business ideas that you done shot me that are amazing, and you know they work because people be paying you on the weekends to do them. But you come back and you go to 3rd dimension job. How is that evolution? And remember, in my last video, I told you all that we're gonna start elevating to the 5th dimension, but we can get pulled back down to the 3rd if we choose to. But the problem is, or the new thing is, we're going to be able to bounce back faster. And the bounce back is when you get the epiphanies that, oh, shoot, this job pulls me down to the 3rd dimension from 8 to 5, from 9 to 5, from 10 to 10, whatever your shift is, whatever your hours are, for 40 hours a week, for 50 hours a week, for 60 hours a week, whatever you work. This job pulls me to the 3rd dimension, whether you're working at home, whether you're working in the office, whether you're working in the warehouse, whether you're driving. It pulls you back to the 3rd dimension. So what is the universe telling you? Universe, show me how to get out of the 3rd dimension. Go to work. Boss pulls you in the 3rd dimension. Coworker pulls you in the 3rd dimension. Deadlines pulls you in the 3rd dimension for 8 to 10, 12 hours out of your day. I guess the universe is talking. Use your intuition. That's not even intuition. That's just like common sense. Like, use your intuition and say, this is what the universe is showing me, that this is a problem. This is just like those people that I purged out of my life. I got to purge this job. And if you live in the 5th dimension, we've been talking about manifestation. So those jobs, those passions that you have, those things that you were born to do, that you do on the side, need to become your 5th dimensional income. They're not even physical, some of them. Some of them you just programming some stuff and putting your stuff online and money's just flowing to you. Cha-ching, cha-ching, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, whatever you got going on, money's just flowing in. But you don't believe that you can do that full time or part time and make the same amount of money because you feel like you got to be stressed out in a third dimensional job, sitting at a desk, sitting behind a truck, sitting, walking, driving, cooking, whatever you do for somebody else, making them millions in a system that's about to crash anyway. You better get your shit right, and you better find a job, a passion that you were born to do, and start working on that, because when that system crashed, you're not going to be able to be in that third dimensional job anyway. That's what our recharge was for. Our recharge was to recharge, get the energy we need, get the wisdom, insight, knowledge, and ascend to the fifth dimension so that when we get back to our regular lives that are in the third dimension, we still have a fifth dimensional mindset and we can make fifth dimensional choices and get rid of all the third dimensional paradigms in our life that no longer benefit us. And for a lot of you, for the majority of you, it's that third dimensional corporate America job, or it's not even corporate for some of you. Some of it is just working for somebody else and not working for yourself. Some of it is physical jobs where you need to be more into a technical, holistic, natural paradigm. And I'll talk about that later because that's another download. And the reason why I know that to be true is because when you came back from your recharge, the first thing you went back to that stressed you out was that job. And if that job is stressing you out, stress is a third dimensional paradigm that we've created for our physical body. Our lower selves get stressed out because of ego and fear. And we're trying to figure stuff out with our mind. Heart is spiritual. The mind is three dimensional. It's physical because you're physically thinking, trying to figure stuff out. That's not God. Third eye, that's God. Mind is physical. So if you're thinking here stressed out all the time, then you're thinking from a third dimensional mindset, and the jobs are a lot of times stressing you out. So with that being said, intuition is just not an energy telling you, oh, this person is not good for you, or this situation is not good for you, or this. It's also some of these things that you don't want to let go of. So that means after you recharge, you got to come back, do more work, and figure out, does this job benefit me? Is it, and this is how you know, is it keeping me in a fifth dimensional realm? And within 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes of you clocking in on Monday from your recharge, y'all knew what the answer to that question is. Same thing with our relationships. Some of you all have the benefit of taking your family or taking your significant other to your recharge. And it was great. Y'all both recharged. Y'all recharged together. You recharged separately. It was amazing. But some of you knew you couldn't take your mate. Some of you knew your mate wouldn't understand. Some of you had to recharge from your mate. Some of you knew your mate would sabotage your recharge. Some of you knew that it just wasn't, you got issues. Your significant other is not ascending right now. They're not at that place right now. Matter of fact, they're one of the reasons that you had to go recharge. So, again, within 5, 10, 15 minutes, 24 hours from you coming back from your recharge, did that person drain you or drag you back to the third dimension? Did hearing their voice, their comments, their arguing, were they not bringing you peace? Were they bringing you disdain and just frustration? Did you find yourself going back to bad habits because you were trying to escape from your significant other? Come on, y'all. You got to let go of things that don't benefit you. And even, let's say this. I'll say this because I know a lot of people, and I'm saying this. And I'm saying this I'm going to be a little two-faced about it. Because my mother passed away last year, and she comes to me quite a bit in my dreams and in my thoughts. And the other night I was laying in bed, and she has this perfume that she wears, and it just came in the room and was overwhelming. I don't even know what perfume is. We've been trying to find the bottle because she's been wearing it for years, but we couldn't find the bottle. But I know she wore it up until, she got really sick. We don't know what the perfume is, but when I smell it, I know that's Mom. And that's the cool part about it because nobody else wears this perfume. But she came in the room and I was meditating, and I was meditating on relationships at that particular time. And I was getting some downloads, and I said, when I got this particular download, the download was, let go of all that does not benefit you. That includes your relationships. And I don't know what form of relationships, whether that means marriage, committed relationships, live-ins, what you want to call boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know, best friends, platonic, whatever. Just get rid of relationships that don't benefit you. And I start thinking about the masculine feminine relationships, and how a lot of times we women and men will get in a relationship with someone who we know is not the one, but it's better than being alone. It curbs that loneliness, or it curbs that desire to have someone in your space, or the affection that you need, or the attention that you need. Or sometimes it's some of you brothers just want a good cooked meal when you get home, or you want a clean house, or you want somebody to talk to, or you want some, sexual intimacy or whatever. So you have this person that will just meet the needs for the time being until you get that one. Well, I was telling this to the universe, like, a lot of these, you telling me to tell people to let go of these relationships, but a lot of people aren't going to do that because they don't want to be alone. And the universe was like, you still got to tell them, because they know what their relationship is and where it is. And they said, and it blocks them from getting the one that is meant for them, because the one sees that, and through their evolution, they're not going to try to sabotage that relationship, because they don't know where that fits in your paradigm. That's not their responsibility to try to come in and sabotage your relationship. You know what I'm saying? So you have blocked off your blessing because you have this placeholder, this bookmark in your life to meet needs that you don't believe in the fifth dimension you're going to bring yourself. So in your third dimensional paradigm, you have this placeholder, this bookmark, that you're not allowing them to find their true soulmate, because you've utilized their time and energy to meet your needs, and vice versa. I'm sure it's reciprocal, but you're not allowing them or yourself to meet the one in the fifth dimension. So you have to get rid of the dead weight. And I hate to call them dead weight, because sometimes they're amazing people, and sometimes they have really helped build you up, and they've really helped you become a better person. But still, there's something that is just truly missing, something that that is not 100%, of what you're really desiring, or what the universe is going to bring you. And this, you feel it in your heart, which is your spiritual part. So, but you got to let them go. You got to let them go. And if they're meant to be, and if they are truly that person, then they will evolve and ascend to the fifth dimension, and then you'll stay together, or you'll reconnect on a different level. So I was told to say that. Now, the reason why I mentioned my mom is because I was expressing that, the concern for me to tell people that. And my mom she said this. She came to me and she said, I don't care who it is. There's no male that is everything that you want. There's never going to be, because I told her, I said, a lot of us are settling. She goes, everybody settles. Everybody settles. My parents were married for 50 years before my mom passed. And they had an amazing, to me, what I consider, one amazing marriage, because they don't build them like that no more. When you go through good, bad, and ugly, and you can still want to get up and look at that person every day, and you want to retire and look at them every day and just be up under them and all that. They don't make it like that no more. But she said that, she told me, she said, we all settle. We all could have been with somebody else, did something else, worked it out a little differently, but we settle. And she says, yeah, me and your dad had a great marriage. And she said, but it's still marriage, it's still work, it's still, not always pretty. And she said, and there were days where I was just like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? She said, ugh. And it made me realize that even though you see your friends and you be like, oh, she ain't happy, he ain't happy, there's never this, unless it's a facade. And we've seen the relationships where everything just looks so beautiful, and then two weeks later they're divorced, or 2 weeks later you see him at the club with somebody else or whatever, and you think, dang, they've been married 35 years, and I thought it was all that, but it's not. So it's always a settle, because you're always wanting something bigger, better, and different, but it's the work that you put in it. And that's what my mom said. So with that being said, before you just go off and you let these significance go, make sure that you're not reaching for something that is unattainable, because we put a lot of people on pedestals, and then you realize they're humans just like me. They're human beings just like we are. And you let go of something that is truly amazing in your corner, and probably the best that we gonna get because of where we're at. Because we always get reflections of who we are, and unless you feel like you're growing past that reflection and you can prove it to yourself, then maybe that's the best thing for you. But don't just go on emotions. Go on your intuition. Go on your spiritual heart, and go on what you see before you in the fifth dimension. Who are you in the fifth dimension? And is that person gonna evolve with you there? You know what I'm saying? Now, if that person's bringing you down and keeping you stuck, that's a whole different story. So again, listen to that voice. And another part of that, a lot of you starseeds, the ones that are stuck in the fourth dimension, another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of you, you have to give validation, like as if you're in church. You can't make a move, even though your intuition has told you can't make a move till you get it validated by another starseed or another mentor or a leader or something like that. Almost like you got to go to the pastor or to the priest before you make a move. And that's getting caught back in religion. That's not trusting your higher self. That's not trusting the God and goddess within. And that's not trusting that intuition and the ancestors that are there for you to protect and guide you. Because that person outside of yourself is a human being just like you, and can make bad choices just like you, and is not here to experience what you're here to experience. So some of you will sit there and get an intuition or get a voice or a word from within, and then you got to go call Cynthia or Sheila or or Tammy or Scott or whoever, and get a word of advice from them. And then sometimes they'll lead you down a dark road. That's because that's where they're at in their life. I don't care how evolved we are. We all have a dark space and place at times. And you want to trust your own God and own goddesses, because if not, you'll get caught back into the religion factor where, you're doing things to please other people, or doing things because this person told you that's the right thing to do, instead of trusting the gut within. So stop doing that. Stop having to talk to 10 people when your intuition tells you within 5 minutes what you need to do. Excuse my glasses, y'all. I got eye bright I'm putting in my eyes to get my 20/20 back. That'll be another video. So I'm not used to wearing my glasses, so they're all over the place. So start listening to your own voice and stop having to get validation from others outside of you. Now, it's okay to talk to other starseeds that are going through the same thing you're going through, but literally I've seen people say, yeah, the ancestors came through and told me that, I needed to, buy a lottery ticket tonight, and I was going to win $1 million. Do you think I should buy that lottery ticket? I don't know. Do you? Should you? If the ancestors told you, who am I? Or, yeah, I'm supposed to move to Chicago in 2 weeks, and I'm homeless and I don't know what to do with my life or whatever. Should I move? Well, I don't know, sis. Have you did some meditation on it? Yeah, I did some meditation, and I saw I kept seeing these videos about Chicago. Okay, and what does your intuition tell you? I asked for signs. Okay, well, they could tell you better, because I would not personally move to Chicago, because I don't like the cold weather personally, and I'm not getting up in no snow and getting snowed in and being anything that's considered below. So you're asking the wrong person. So, because my 3-dimensional stuff gonna answer you when you're talking about Chicago. So I don't know what the ancestors tell you, what your higher self tell you. Start listening to yourself a lot of times. Stop going to the other sources. We're not in religion anymore, where we have to get permission from the priest and hold our sins accountable for the mistakes that we make. This is all about your journey, your personal journey. So that's all I have to say about intuition. Do the internal work. Do the work yourself. Do your own work. Family. Okay. This is a good one. So I got downloads about family. Okay. A lot of us are the black sheep in our family. A lot of us are the weirdos, the cuckoos, the ones that everybody's like, I don't know about that child, but I'm telling you, we're the lights. We're the light in our family. We're the one that they call on the down low when they like, girl, I got, I got gout. What do I do? You according to you, you're supposed to go to doctors because you go to doctors for everything. What I be saying about the herbs and eating right, you're not trying to hear that. But they'll call me on the under. They won't tell my cousin, my auntie, my uncle. They won't tell all those people, but they'll call you on the DL and use them. But yeah, girl, that worked. So, or they'll say she don't know what she's talking about, or she needs Jesus, or whatever. They say all the things that they say. Or what's she talking about? They don't take these vaccines. I'm taking my vaccine. Whatever they say, what paradigm they put out there, how they do when you don't come and you don't want to eat no turkey on Thanksgiving and all of that stuff. But the download that I received was family is waking up. And you all see it. You see your family being more open to suggestions. You see them, doing a little research. You see them, asking more questions, or even coming to you about something you may have told them 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 days ago, 6 months ago. And you're like, are you kidding me right now? Didn't I just have a long conversation? You didn't want to hear it at the time. And now that your new boyfriend told you to read this book, or your new girlfriend took you to this lecture, or sent you this YouTube link, now you want to talk about it. And that's old news for me. I done been there, done that, and evolved past that. But we don't do that. We're like, oh, really? Okay. What I'm saying? Or you're like, yes, somebody got through to them, So that is starting to happen. It's happening with my family. My family is waking up. They're opened up. They're sharing things with me. Some of the things are 2010, 2011, 2012. But it's okay. They're waking up. Everybody's going to wake up. So what I was told, because I know a lot of us got, we came out shooting. We came out shooting when we first started evolving. We came out shooting when we first got woke. And I hate, and you were like, do this. You got to do this. Change your lives. Oh my gosh. Look what I found out. I read this book. I did that. Did you know the Bible says this? The Quran says this. This is true. Alchemy, manifestation, creation, blah, blah, blah. We just went crazy with it. And our families were like, who is this weirdo? What's going on? And now they're starting to listen. They're calling you, asking you questions. Their doctors telling them to eat better, go plant-based, do intermittent fasting, drink more water, get off the medication. They're talking to me, somebody called me the other day about tantric, somebody called me about crystals, so people are really getting, into it now. So what I was told by the ancestors is for us not to press anymore. And I know a lot of us don't press anymore. We just kind of leave it alone. But we are supposed to now have the conversations again. It's time to have the conversations. It's time to reawaken that seed. And I don't know if a lot of you all are gardeners or farmers or into gardening or planting, but when a seed, sometimes you plant a seed, you let it sit there and then it sprouts, and then you water it, and you got a little bud on it, but it's not growing really fast. Sometimes you got to come over and you got to do some things to the soil and tap on the plant and things so that it can just kind of realize that, oh my gosh, okay, let me wake it up a little bit so it can fertilize and kind of, they do it to plants when with plants when the bees, we don't have a lot of bees around right now, so they'll manipulate the plant to make it almost as if a bee was coming in, doing some things to it so that it can bud out and grow and things like that. So we have to do that to our family right now. We've already planted the seed, some of us a few years ago, quite a few years ago, a few months ago, whatever. And now that they're going through this ascension, this rapid ascension, it looks rapid to them, but it's not rapid to you and I, because we've been in this journey. You have to go wake up the seed. So what I did, I was told to do this with my dad. He knows about my lifestyle and everything, but I've been working out and I've been getting kind of yoked. Look at that, y'all. I've been getting kind of yoked there, So he sees that, and he sees me working out, and he sees me my lifestyle, my diet, and everything like that, my nutrition, and he made some vegetable stew. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It's the best vegetable stew in the world. So I literally had 3 bowls and took like a bowl home or whatever. He made a huge like gumbo pot full of veggie stew. It was spicy veggie stew. And he wanted me to know that I had an influence on him. And he called me. He says, "I know you really like my stew, but I wanted to let you know when you moved in with me for a while, like, you taught me how to cook like that. You taught me how to cook without putting meat and stuff. Like his collard greens are like the bomb, y'all. They're the bomb. Oh my gosh. Like, my dad can cook greens. He could cook greens when he used to put pork in it. And then he went to turkey meat. Now he cooks them with no meat. He makes the best no meat veggie greens ever in my life. And he was like, "You taught me how to do those things. You taught me that I had to use all the oil and all the fat back and all of that." And I said, "Dad, you know what? That, you cook amazing. I'm the chef, supposedly, but you cook better vegan than I do. You need to cook more like that for yourself." And he goes, "Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't even really miss the meat. And I'm off of pork. I really don't eat pork that much anymore, and I really don't eat beef. It's just chicken and fish, and maybe I can make those changes." And I kind of just threw it back on him. Just kind of jiggled the seed, the little bud of the plant that's coming out from that seed. I just jiggled, gave him his kudos, and let him know that what he is doing is great, and I didn't say, you need to do more, and, why don't you just cut this out? You know how to cook that way. I didn't do all that. I didn't have these desperate conversations that I used to have in the beginning. It was just more like I complimented him on what he is doing. I said, "Yeah, I noticed you're eating more salads." And he goes, "Yeah, I love salads." So it's his way of telling me, hey, I want to evolve my diet. I want to evolve the way I eat. I need, And I said, "Why?" I said, "You used to walk. What happened to that?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to start walking and stuff." So this is what I told him. I said, "Let's get together. Let's put a plan together where, I sit down, and some of the recipes that I know you like that I bring over, I show you how to make them. And then that way you can, have more options to eat plant-based. And then maybe you can put a walking routine together. I can help you put that together. And I'm telling you, you're going to drop weight just like that and get, feel better about yourself. Because remember when you ate plant-based before, your cholesterol went down, you weren't on diabetes watch, you lost weight, you felt better. Whatever. He's like, "Yeah, you were right. I did feel better." And I said, "Okay." Now, mind you, this is somebody that used to like judge me, criticize me, tell me I didn't know what I was talking about. Get yourself together first, and then, and then, I'll do it. But guess what? I'm getting myself together. I've gotten myself to, quite a bit on point. And so it's time for him to get together, right? So without me judging him or going in hardcore, I just kind of coaxed him into being the person that he said he was going to be. So anyway, that's what we do with our family now. Kind of guide them in gently, meet them where they're at, give them a couple of options, come at them not in a desperate attempt, because we're all going to evolve. We just may not all evolve by December 20th, or the 21st. So don't be in fear. Don't be in a third dimensional paradigm because your family is not right beside you or above you. You know what I'm saying? They may be behind you. They may be behind you a couple months, a couple years, but it's okay. They're going to get there. They're all going to get there. All that's supposed to get there will get there. And if they put in the work, they'll get there. And they're all going to have a moment where they get woke. It's just once they get woke, you jiggle that little bud, that little leaf a little bit, that little plant, and then it'll start to grow. And it's going to grow faster than you grew. That's the cool thing about it. And you as a senior as an elder in this experience is going to see the growth. And it may be your mother who's in her 70s or 60s or 50s. It may be your dad, your grandpa, your grandma. It may be your stubborn teenage child. It may be, you know, an ex that you thought they used to just ridicule you and just put you down, and you'd be like, man, if he would just, you know, have more of a consciousness and evolve, it would be cool. And you'll see all that growth right before your eyes, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be such a beautiful thing, because we're going to be at peace in the fifth dimension and see all these buds that these seeds that we planted turn into buds, turn into plant, and just blossom into trees of life right before our eyes. So that's all I have to say about the family. Another incentive topic. I think I kind of talked about the leaders and the internal work, you know, just really listening to yourself, getting away from these leaders. Okay, fifth dimensional work. And I talked about that briefly, but I just want to expand a little bit more on what the this power told me. Okay, so in the fifth dimension is going to be more about technology and going back to the natural. And I know a lot of times we think that's two polar opposites, but not really, because right now in this Western society, in this third dimensional paradigm, we're using a lot of technology, and we're using a lot of technology, but we're using it in a way where it's kind of dark. And what I mean by that is we're using it to spy on each other. We're using it to create paradigms like with medication. We're using it in a way where it doesn't benefit us. Okay, there we go. Thank you, ancestors. Okay, so we're using it in a way it doesn't benefit us. So we're using it in a we're using fifth dimensional technology in a 3-dimensional paradigm. So what that looks like is it doesn't benefit our fifth dimensional bodies. So our fifth dimensional body is more natural. We eat things that come from the ground, that are grown naturally. We put things in and on our bodies that are natural. We don't use things that we don't use paper money. It's more of like energy and digital things, where nothing is as physical. We don't have to do physical labor as much. Everything is more energy and more technical and stuff like that. So a lot of you all who have labor jobs, they're disappearing. You see a lot of the companies, the warehouses, and the factories are being torn down. You're doing shopping online now. The GMO food is not healthy. It doesn't have seeds, and it just looks sick in the store sometimes. And we're going back to growing our own food, because that's natural and we know where the source is. A lot of us are getting rid of the microwaves and, you know, heating our food up on the stove, or eating raw, because raw has the most sufficient amount of nutrients in it. We are, going back to, wearing our hair natural, whether it's, in locks or afros, or just its natural state, and staying away from perms and weaves and chemicals and processes and perms and all of that stuff. We are doing things more natural, but we are also using the technology now to communicate with each other, whether it be cell phones, or coming up with, ways to clean the water, ways to utilize things that will help us in a natural aspect. So they're coming up with different pots and pans that are made out of copper, that are, that have the metals that are good for you. Staying away from aluminum, staying away from fluoride. So we're doing things that are more natural, but we're still combining it with technology. Now, about the cell phones, yes, we have cell phones, but as we start to evolve, our intuition is going to get so strong where the cell phone is going to be coming from here, the third eye. And that's a whole nother that they just told me don't even go into that right now. But so technology is going to meet natural, where we will be the technology. and the technology will be natural, and the natural will be the technology. So, with that in mind, when you're trying to figure out what your passions are and what your purpose is in this life, start thinking about what you do in the natural or what you do on a technical basis that will benefit the fifth dimension. Again, that's that word benefit, because in the fifth dimension, we're getting rid of things that don't benefit us anymore. And when I say they don't benefit us, they cause us death, they cause us harm, they cause us chaos, they cause us confusion, they cause us destruction, they cause us death. Those are things that don't benefit us anymore. They give you stress, they give you physical dis-ease, and they do not add nutritious value to your life, your body, or your lifestyle. Okay? That is what it means to not benefit you. So, with that being said, start thinking about purposes and passions that benefit you, that you can make an income in the fifth dimension. That includes what type of house you live in, what kind of car you drive, what type of mate you have, what type of clothes you put on your body, what type of food you eat, what you eat, how you treat your body internally and externally. Do you take the medication or don't you? Do you use natural treatments, natural ointments, natural products, all of that? Who you have sex with, um, who you spend your time with, what job you work at, how you wear your hair, all of that needs to come into play on what benefits you. you know Vanity is a part of the third dimension. Of course, it's going to be in the fifth dimension because we all want to look our best, right? But like for me, I'm wearing my glasses. I hate wearing my glasses. I think they're thick. I think they're ugly. I don't like glasses. But I know I need to put eye bright in my eyes 2 to 3 times a day because it makes my vision better. And when I go to the eye doctor, he always says my vision improves when I use my eye bright. Now, do I want to look cute and wear contacts and go blind? Or do I want to wear these glasses until I get 20/20 vision and then I can take them off and don't have to ever wear them again? So that's where the natural, which is the natural plant, the eye bright, meets my vanity. Which one benefits me? Does it benefit me to look cute, or does it benefit me to have better vision? That's the choice I have to make. I got to figure out which one I want to deal with. Do I want to be in the third dimension with vanity, or do I want to have better eyesight in the fifth dimension? It's nothing wrong with either one of them, either choice I make. It's just, what are the repercussions in the end? Am I going to be 70, 80 years old with thicker glasses? And, who knows if we're going to have glasses? I don't know what we're going to have. Or am I going to be, 70, 80 and have 20/20 vision? So it's up to me, up to you to make those decisions. Okay, I think I have one more topic. And let me see. We talked about fifth dimensional work and finding your purpose and your passion. We talked about intuition and your downloads and breathing through your downloads. We talked about family. We talked about leaders and internal work, doing the internal work yourself and not relying on leaders and friends and everything to make the decisions for you when you've been told by yourself. 2 more little topics. One is your God energy. Your God energy is the God within you. And that's, again, listening to that God energy. But a lot of us are still not tapping into it in its entirety. We are still tapping into, we don't really believe that we're God. So, you got to do the research on that. You got to start really meditating on that, really focusing on that, really overstanding that. It will be a topic that I've been told that will come up again, but a lot of the reason why we're still in stress and anxiety and going through depression and self-sabotage and selflessness and lack of self-love is because we don't understand that we're God and goddesses. So really try to tap into that energy. That will be another conversation that I've been told is going to come up again. Another topic that I got a preview of a download and I'm getting all this information on, so I know that the universe is guiding me towards finding out more information about it, is investments and how in the fifth dimension how we have to financially set ourselves up now to be ready for the fifth dimension when this whole system crashes, and how there's only going to, be those that have and those that have not, the have and have nots, and how we need to be set up to be the haves. Okay. So I don't want to go too much into that. I'm getting really parched. I need more water. But I hope this video resonates with you all. I hope it helped clear up some things for you. If not, I hope at the very least it made you think about some things that are going on in your life and some things that you really might need to take a look at so that you can be ready to continue your ascension and to grow and to get wisdom and insight. Another topic that I was just told is our emotions. So that I'm going to put that on my list because I was just told that, man, I just know tonight's going to be crazy night dreaming. Whew, I feel it. It's so much, so many things. I they're like, oh, you didn't talk about that. You didn't talk about that. But I feel like that's enough right now. My spirit is telling me to stop, but then I have another energy that's saying, oh, add this to the list, add this to the list, add this to the list. We're going to give you a download tomorrow about this. We're going to give you So shout out real quick. My cousin Kim Coakley made these earrings. Aren't these cute? Look at this. So I'm going to put a link below so you can go to her website. She makes such cute jewelry. It is so cute. But she made these for me, and I'm going to give you her link in the video below. Check her out. Check out her jewelry. Check out her t-shirts. She is one of those. She's just like me. She can do like 10 million things. And her name is Kim Coakley, and she's out of the Midwest, and she will take care of you with the jewelry. Tell her that Nazir Sidiria sent you, and I'm sure she'll hook you up even more. So anyway, I love you guys. We're going to get through this. I know this is a time where it is overwhelming at times. I know it's a time where it's exciting. Just breathe, 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 breathe. And pretty soon I'm going to have a couple guest speakers on. One to talk about this investments that we need to get prepared for, because I'm not really savvy on all that, but I know what I know, and I know what I've been told. So as I learn, you learn, we learn together. And I also want to have some masculine energies on here to talk about some things that are going on with the masculine energy that as a female I can't really speak on, but I know they need to. You masculine starseeds need to know about this. We need to start building with each other. I have an amazing brother and good planetary brother, tribal brother, and just straight down brother that I'm going to bring on here to talk about some things that has been going on in his life and his ascension process that he wants to share as well. So please, if this video resonated with you on any levels, please like my video and subscribe so you can continue to go through this journey together and be here as a tribe. We are finding each other, and we got to show each other love. That's what we're here for, is to experience, create, and receive and give love. So I love you. Have a wonderful, amazing week, and I'll see you next time. Selah, Ashe.